Erik Jesberger standing alongside head coach and general manager Jason Binkley, head of game 2 of 3 on the week against the Maine Mariners. Coach, you enter tonight on a 4-game point streak, and after Wednesday, you find yourself on the wrong end of the scoreboard. But ultimately, what can you take away from that game, learning in your club and once again in overtime, but also the Mariners who you hadn't seen since November?
Well, we've had an issue our last 4 games against teams that maybe are sitting below us in the standings. So if you look at the 2 Adirondack games, the Kalamazoo game, the Maine game, there on Wednesday night, we just didn't play to our potential and to our standard. And as a coach and as a team, we have had to have the conversation of why are we not playing up to the standard that we've played to when we play teams that are maybe ahead of us in the standings. So, as a group, we are trying to sort and fill that out and understand why, maybe we take our foot off the gas a little bit, because right now is a time of the year where we shouldn't be doing that. We have 20 games to go. We're very, very much in the hunt for a playoff spot here, and we control our own destiny. We're not going to get help from anybody else, but like I said on Wednesday, is this Maine team directly stands between us and a playoff spot at the end of the day. And to come out and play as flat as we did and to have no life and emotion or energy, especially after the way we battled on the road for 3 straight games there over the weekend, in 2 very tough buildings with some overnight travel, it was disappointing to have that effort. Now, the silver lining is we still managed to get a point out of it, and there was the potential chance we still could have actually won the game. Once again, our overtime play that we had addressed, that we have talked about, which showed in Fort Wayne for us to win the game, was nowhere near relevant in the overtime here on Wednesday. Shifts were too long. Puck possession was awful. Just not things that we ever talk about doing were out there. So we regrouped yesterday, went through the harsh reality of watching film, because the film never lies. We understand our work ethic wasn't good enough. We understand our play wasn't good enough. But once again, a silver lining is we can still manage to get 5 out of 6 points here this week. And we obviously have to take it one game at a time, starting with tonight here. But we have the chance to still make this a really good week, keep ourselves in the hunt, and take advantage of being at home in our own building, in front of our own fans, sleeping in our own beds, to ultimately get to where we want to be, which is in a playoff spot here.
Back in the lineup on Wednesday was John Franco Casero after being out the prior 2. Picks up a goal and now has 2 goals in his last 3 in his last 6. Given one who played in this league and were a part of 2 deep playoff runs with the Fort Wayne Comets in 2017 and 18, among the top blue liner scorers on that club, what can you speak on the importance of the production offensively from the back end and Casero bringing that to your club this year?
Well, the way the game has changed in the last 10 years has been creating more offense from your blue line. And the way teams defend and the way you have to play against teams, you have to utilize your guys on the back end. You have to utilize your blue line. You have to rely on them to get shots through, get pucks to the net. And so with his offensive talent and some of our other guys on the back end, their offensive talent, they've really contributed and helped us offensively here. And to speak on Casero specifically, right, a guy who has learned a lot this year, has grown a lot this year, has earned a couple call-ups this year, got his first American League game this year, right? And he's taking everything in a positive manner and a positive attitude no matter what the situation is, right? Unfortunately, he had to miss a couple games there with a minor injury, but now that he's back and he's playing, we are just trying to make sure that he utilizes his strength. 1, his skating ability, right? He can get up and down the ice. He can skate with anybody. But 2, he has a phenomenal shot. And it's not always that he has to rip it, bar down. It's not that he always has to hit the perfect one-timer, but just finding a way to get it through like he did on his goal off that face-off win on Wednesday is all we need, is all he needs, is all the team needs. And, if our back end, if our D-core, led by Casaro, Sedley, and Callisti, and these guys can continue to get pucks through and shots through. 1, they're giving themselves a chance to score, and 2, they're giving us the opportunity to generate more offense. And even if our forwards end up scoring, right, that's all we really need. So, kudos to him for how he's played, for how he's handled himself. A big thing for guys, rookies, is learning how to be professionals, learning how to take care of your body, learning how to play the game the right way consistently day after day after day after day. And, he's somebody who's really done that, and he's been rewarded for it.
Along with seeing 23 back on the ice on Wednesday, he'll be a part of tonight's game, along with the welcome back returns of Mason Primo and Sawyer Bolton from the Lehigh Valley Phantoms. Two players we've seen the scoring touch, and Bolton bring that bite to his play that will combat against the Mariners. But along with that, what do you hope both players bring to the table here in round 2 of the series tonight?
Well, both, again, guys that have been up in the American League, have been up with our affiliates in Lehigh Valley, getting some games and some practice time up there. Mason, his size, his speed needs to be a big factor for us. He needs to be willing to take the puck to the net and go to the gritty areas and the dirty areas. And like you said with Sawyer, he brings a physical presence that we miss at times. And there's no secret to his game and what he needs to do. He needs to lay some hits. He needs to be physical. He needs to be a presence on the ice. And ultimately, some of that emotion, some of that, jam that we were missing on Wednesday, I'm hoping he can bring into the lineup this weekend. So, when he goes out there and he throws a big hit and he gets the bench fired up and he gets the crowd fired up like that, everybody can feed off of that. So, with those two guys coming back in, they should have some energy. They should have, some fresher legs than maybe what we have going right now, just because of the schedule that they've been on and the schedule that they've been playing with Lehigh Valley. So, once again, Preems just needs to be a big body, take it to the net. Bolts needs to lay some hits, and, everybody can just feed off of that and go from there.
We can all look forward to that tonight. Coach, thank you for the time. Best of luck.
Thanks.